Yo neighbors, G.I. Joe Classified Series, Wave 11. What a great week to be a G.I. Joe fan. Number 59, CoverGirl. Number 63, Outback. This is the original classic white t-shirt survival Outback that we got in A Real American Hero. The second one for G.I. Joe Classified Series, the first one was Tiger Force. Hugely popular. I think this version will be even more popular. We're going to look at these two in the next couple days. We are going to start with the belle of the ball, number 64 Falcon. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Obviously, we'll switch that up because you got to start with the ugly with this figure. What Hasbro did right and wrong, and what we did right and wrong, the fans. That's coming up. All right, so number 64, Falcon. Let's, we're gonna go through this part a little quicker than normal. First, we all know that we got the windowless packaging now. This is now what all the companies seem to be going towards. Hasbro's starting, Mattel is now starting. First thing I notice is there is no disclaimer here for it being a windowless, plastic-free box. That's what they're putting on the Legends stuff. But anyway, I do like this box. I do like the artwork, and this artwork is done by an artist called Arno Kiss. He is a Belgian graphic designer. He's known in the rave and nightclub scenes for making posters. This looks like something you would see at a nightclub or a rave. It's kind of like very black light, it looks like. Really cool picture of Falcon here. Silhouettes of the paratroopers. I'm thinking that's like a precursor to maybe his Night Force figure, which hopefully we'll get a new head sculpt. But who is Falcon? Falcon is the younger brother of Duke, but you may not know, originally in the movie he was going to be the son of Hawk. Hawk and Falcon sharing like a bird-themed name, but they went back, they rewrote it, they made him the half-sibling of Duke. Originally, he was going to take over for Duke to be the leader of G.I. Joe. A lot of people may not know that, but we all know the scene where Duke was supposed to die.
No! Duke?
After that scene, they rewrote the story, and part of it was backlash from the previous year. In 1986, the Transformers movie came out. They killed off Optimus Prime. They brought in Hot Rod. They changed him to Rodimus Prime. The fan backlash was so loud, Hasbro said, whoa, we can't do the same thing with Duke. So they changed plans for making Falcon the head of G.I. Joe, and they rewrote the story so that Duke was in a coma. And you can kind of see remnants of that at the end of the movie. Falcon thanks Duke, but Duke's nowhere to be seen. That's because he was originally killed. So Falcon can thank Rodimus Prime for ruining his chance to be the leader of G.I. Joe. So let's just get right into this figure. Let's just, we're going to pop him open. And you know what? I'm going to put up the viewer discretion as advised again. I'm going to cut this box open because I'm really pushing that Hasbro adopts this kind of style here. And we'll see. I don't know why I'm putting it up there. Hold on. Just going to pop this bad boy open. All right. So the big reveal. First time look.
He's so ugly.
Here he is. See if it can zoom in on that. So I don't know if the lighting will do it justice here. See if I can get it right there. I don't know if the lighting is going to do it any kind of justice. I'll see if I can get the focus a little bit here. Yeah, it's kind of hard to really get a good look at the sculpt here. I'll see if I can get a better angle. I'll probably pop some pictures up right here. Again, here's my idea for the boxes. See if they could open here so you could showcase the figure. I think I zoomed in too much and I left it on there. It's hard to say. He is not, let's see if I can get it to focus here. All right, I don't know if that focuses it that well. Kind of looks like a lineup. This is not a great sculpt. This looks like, I mean, it's a good, it's kind of like I'm struggling with it. It's not a bad looking sculpt, but when you think of it as this is Duke's younger brother, he is supposed to be new to the armed forces, right? He's supposed to be young looking. He looks like just, he doesn't even look like Don Johnson. Or maybe he does. Don Johnson today, though. He looks old. It's really not the best sculpt, and it's not great. The figure's body looks pretty good. They did a nice job there. It's a little darker than I expected. In the lighting, probably in hand, you can see that it's not bad looking. The deco is pretty good. But you know what, before I even, let me just open his accessories real quick. He's got the foot locker, the new foot locker. Not sure if you can see that. The gun is a little bit warped. That's not good. The gun is warped. A little bit of heat will fix that up, but nobody wants to do that. So that's not good. Here's his beret. That looks pretty good. Fits on pretty well. Looks pretty good. Pretty decent backpack. I like the knife. I like that knife. The knife is pretty good. It's got a nice paint app. Slides right in. Goes right on. He stands like normal. The body's good. Backpack's good. Beret's good. Gun, you can fix that with some heat, but shouldn't get that right out of the box. Not so good. The face sculpt. I'm not really sure what to say about that. So other than it is disappointing. The body's great. The backpack is great. The gun could be replaced or fixed. All right, I paused the video real quick. It did take maybe 30 seconds to fix this gun. I dropped it in some hot water and it took about 30 seconds to straighten out. Again, we shouldn't get that right out of the box, but it is an easy fix. So that one I usually give it a pass on because of the type of plastic that these figures are being made with today. It is an easy fix, but it affects every line. McFarlane, Valorverse, Legends, I think NECA or NECA, however you say that one. But anyway, we got the good, the bad, and the ugly, and why it's a great figure. I already said we're gonna switch that up. The ugly, this is an ugly figure, okay? But this should be no surprise to anybody. And this is where I say, what did Hasbro do right? What did they do wrong? What did we do right? And what did we do wrong? So this kind of falls into the ugly and the bad, right? The ugly is the sculpt. Hasbro got that wrong. They showed us a render reveal last year that everybody wanted. Everybody wanted Falcon. We were all excited. Then in October during PulseCon, they showed us the actual figure. So they showed us this sculpt. So that's what they did right. They did show us the sculpt, even if it's a bad sculpt. They did not hide this. This isn't a product of you can't see it, that they hid the sculpt from us, that you can't see it in a sealed box. They showed us this sculpt over 4 months ago. So that's what we did bad as, and I'm just as guilty as anybody else. That's what we did bad as fans. We were all hoping, oh my God, I hope that's not the sculpt. I'm gonna wait till it comes in. No, that's the sculpt. This is what they showed us, this ugly sculpt. Here's another bad thing that we are saying as fans. There's some fans out there justifying this ugly sculpt, saying that, oh, this is based on the IDW where he got shot in the face and got the reconstructive surgery. No. But Hasbro did show us this is the sculpt we were getting. One of the points I want to make here is if you're not happy with this sculpt that they showed us back in October that you're now seeing on YouTube, social media, Facebook, Instagram, you're not going to be happy with it in person or in hand. I mean, it's not that bad of a sculpt, but it's not what Hasbro showed us. So that's where this whole thing is ugly. That's why it's bad. And that's why it's bad on the fans too, because if you were expecting something else, if you were expecting them to change this, I mean, they made the mold, they made the sculpt, they're not going to change it. Falcon is number 64 in the line. 64. Out of 64 figures, this is the first one where there's some uproar. So the good that can come out of this is that they probably are going to change the head sculpt when they do the next version of Falcon. That's if we get another version of Falcon. This is the first one out of 64 that I would say skip or wait until it goes on clearance. So who is this figure for? If you're not obsessive about being a completionist and needing that number 64, skip the figure. I went ahead and I bought this figure because I was one of the people that was like, you know, I'm gonna wait and see it in hand. It can't be that bad. No, it's that bad. This is nothing like the render reveal. But for a person like me, for a lot of people in the Legends, Valorverse groups, there's a lot of customizers out there that don't mind switching out the head. There's a lot of other options out there to make this the figure that you want. As long as you're that type of collector that doesn't mind making the change, then you're okay. A lot of 3D printed options out there. This is one that I think I'm gonna go with. I messed up his beret here, but I'm gonna use the beret that comes with Falcon. I will put a link to the Etsy store that I got this from. His body is perfect for customization. This is a great mold. The backpack is great. Everything is great but the face. First thing I saw here, one of my friends saw the same thing. I've got this Vietnam era. I don't know if it comes up well here or not. I have a Vietnam era Snake Eyes. So I don't mind switching this out. This is something I was gonna get an extra Falcon for anyway. I don't mind switching that out and making that work in my display. Another great option, Bombastic Bagman. If you don't like the figure that much, there's an option for you right there. You throw that on, make a fun display. The beret sits right on top. There you go, improved. There's also the Team America customization. That was my meme that was being shared by other YouTubers. I thought about that the second they showed this at PulseCon. All I saw was
Matt Damon. Matt Damon. Matt Damon. Matt Damon. Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. The only other option you have to improve this figure's face is a filter. Use Photoshop, switch it up that way. But in all honesty, Hasbro's listening to this feedback. They've been in business for a very long time. Most people work for a company that takes customer dissatisfaction very seriously. Hasbro's one of them. So my guess is when they do a Night Force version of Falcon, we're gonna get a new head sculpt there. But this is the head sculpt they're giving us now. So that's on Hasbro. So obviously we're not all gonna be using Photoshop filters, switching heads. So the good thing to come out of this, the good of this, is that Hasbro's gonna take this customer feedback and hopefully move forward with it. That's the good thing. And the great thing for fans is they're gonna listen. They have to listen. One bad head sculpt doesn't mean the end of the line is dying. This line is going strong right now. They've got the HISS tanks coming. They've got a great wave coming up with Shipwreck and Rock and Roll. We got the Steel Core coming. There's a lot of great figures in the pipeline. There's a few years left of this line. I know if you keep saying it, eventually it'll come true, just not anytime soon. So this is a great thing to happen. It's great because Hasbro's going to use this feedback and improve going forward. You can't go from Major Blood to a head like this. And actually, I should switch that back. There we go. So you can't go from some really, really great sculpts and expectations being high to something like this. Again, it's not bad if it's what they promised us. If this were another figure or if this was the face sculpt they showed us initially, then it would be fine. It's not going to look bad on your shelf. If you're not happy with it, it's not for you. Skip this one. If you don't mind customizing and switching the head out, this one's for you. This is great fodder for any type of customization. I would also suggest waiting until Falcon goes on sale or clearance. Valorverse just did something similar with their Duster figure. Now, the owner of Valorverse made a video saying that the figure sold in line with the other figures and that they overproduced. But they found a clever way to get rid of their extra inventory. Eventually, this will go on sale or clearance. Hasbro's going to hear that. That should end up being great for fans in the long run because, again, they're going to hear this feedback and they're going to improve. Only good things can come out of this. So tell me in the comments what you think. Are you keeping your pre-order? Are you canceling your pre-order? Am I crazy to say this is a great thing for G.I. Joe? Who knows? I'm looking forward to opening up CoverGirl and Outback and kind of seeing how they turned out. We already know Outback's great. CoverGirl, I'm a little worried about. My buddy Lawrence from A Punk with Toys had an issue with her arm right out of the gate, but it's an easy fix just like the gun is. So we'll have to take a peek at that. Anyway, let's get him in his 80s breakdance pose. I misplaced Soundwave, so here's our stand-in boombox for now. The articulation is great. It's still what you expect from Classified. Here's his breakdance pose. Let's get him posed up and up on a Lazy Susan. I will zoom in to get something closer for the face for you. Thanks for watching. Take care. I actually